Hang on a second, guys. I'm getting a call. Hold on. What's that? One of the best albums of the year is in? It's Nothing But Thieves. Holy crap, let's talk about it. What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the sophomore album by the UK rock band Nothing But Thieves. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about Broken Machines. It's the follow-up to their amazing self-titled album, and it was one that I had high hopes for after hearing the excellent kick-ass lead-off single that's called Amsterdam. That song is about not wanting to be like everybody else, not wanting to conform to the world, and it has this monumental monster of a chorus, and it's something that is missing in so much of rock these days. And this record is ballsy, it pushes things, and Connor Mason, the lead vocalist and the lyricist, the primary one for this band, is guiding this band in the right direction. This is the opposite of a sophomore slump, because Broken Machines is one hell of an album, one of my absolute favorites of 2017 so far. So, what did they do on the first album that was right? I didn't ever get a chance to review that album in video form, but it did make my year-end list for best albums. I had Itch in the top 10 best songs for 2015. And overall, it's been one of those records that I keep coming back to. I actually own a copy on white vinyl, and I love spinning that thing because there's so many good songs like Graveyard Whistling, I already mentioned Itch, and obviously the single that got me into them, Trip Switch, that got played on Alt Nation, and that's how I discovered them. And of course, I'm very grateful for that. I've spent a lot of time listening to them, and I was getting very excited. Now with this project, I actually only let myself hear the lead single, and that's something that I've been doing more and more lately because I feel like in a world where everything gets spoiled for us, I'm able to contain myself more, and I think that that makes the album experience that much better because I get to hear the first taste of it, but then I'm like, let's hold off until we get more. And I never really try to listen to more than 2 songs, but even more lately I've been trying to, especially with albums that I'm really looking forward to, I'm only hearing 1 song. With this UK rock band, I feel like they didn't just try to replicate the formula that they did the first time. There was plenty of introspection, looking inward to find answers on that first self-titled album, and it's not that we don't get that here because amazing songs like Soda absolutely do that. They dive into not being comfortable in your own skin and just feeling like I have all of these questions, but I don't know where I'm going to find the answer. And throughout the entire theme of this record, we not only get introspection, but they vary things by talking about politics, like on Live Like Animals, which calls out people like Trump in a big way. I think that's a massive track. And those attacking guitars during the chorus are so danceable, but at the same time they're loud, they're noisy. Connor Mason is just in your face with his vocals, and he's mocking the people that do live like this. And I love that they take such a strong stance here over such a rocking moment, and the instrumental and just some of the breakdowns on moments like that and other intensifying moments as the album goes on just electrify the listener and have me coming back more and more and just saying yes as I listen through this album, just blown away. Religion is definitely another big topic that is covered here on this album, and I feel like Mason is coming at it from a different perspective. Obviously not being religious himself, he likes to question things, but at the same time he admits that even though I'm going through all this, and on I'm Not Made by Design, for example, that one, he howls on the chorus, just unleashes those falsettos, and he screams that he's not made by design. It's like he's leading up to it by talking about how we pray to this woman in the sky and all of these other things that we do, but he knows that he personally feels like he's not made by design. And even being religious by myself, I understand why people question things, and I think that it's important to, especially if you stand strongly in your beliefs, if you can have a firm way to put those out in the world, do so. And I feel like here, he does so with conviction. He sings his heart out and actually pours thought into the lyrics here, and some of the other moments that actually call that into question, like for example, the closing moment on the standard edition, Afterlife. Not only are the lyrics on this record top-notch the majority of the time, that's something that instantly drew me in, but what kept me staying and got me instantly hooked was the musicality and the instrumentals on this record. They're so gripping and hard-hitting. Even when it's not the harder rocking tunes, it's something where I just feel like they're ballsy as a rock band actually wanting to be a rock band and giving these huge sing-along choruses that aren't just the norm. They're singing about topics and putting things out there that aren't being done by other rock bands right now. They are challenging the format, and more bands need to do this. They're building up a bigger fan base, they're selling out their shows, and if more bands can do this, more bands like Nothing But Thieves, and even Royal Blood, even though their second album did lack a bit in the creative department, I don't think Nothing But Thieves struggled a bit there. In fact, I would say that they even a bit overshadowed the debut, and I thought that that was going to be very hard to do because that is an excellent record. But here, they come through so strong and fierce, like the choppy riffs on the title track Broken Machine, or even the slower moments like Soda, or the closing where the drumming on Afterlife just absolutely glows and comes to life with those riffs, and the questioning lyrics that really just actually make you sit down and think. All throughout, this is such a well done record that is so smart, so well thought out, from the opening single Amsterdam that still blows my mind with how big that chorus sounds, just exploding. It's like somebody set off a chain reaction of bombs, and it continues to go as the album rolls out. Even moments that I wasn't initially drawn to, like Sorry. I obviously didn't hear this before the album came out, but my first few listens through, I was like, okay, this has something to it, it's kind of a slow-lit fuse, but once I really started to vibe with it, something clicked, and I can hear everything from like influences of The Killers and other rock bands, like I hear a bit of Smile Like You Mean It and the synthesizers that come up in the bridge there, and then some of the other slower moments like Particles. Not that they're slow, but they definitely have a bit of like a slower start to them, and they lead you in, and then the chorus on Particles is just a roar. It's something where you don't hear a vocal performance or somebody unleashing like Connor Mason does, and his capabilities there are not to be denied. This is something where you just kind of sit back in awe and just listen over and over and over again. And the piano version on the deluxe, I know I'm not reviewing the deluxe edition, but please give that a listen as well. I wouldn't quite call this record perfect because there's a few songs that slow it down a bit for me, like Hell Yeah, I see where he's going with it. He's talking about making hell his home because that's where he feels like he's destined for and maybe even belongs, but I feel like some of the lyrics do fall into some tropes there, and with the slower music, I feel like it just doesn't fit in with the other songs because they do slow things down several times, but it's always done so in another way that I feel like keeps you in the context of the record. And not that this completely takes me out, it's just that it's one that I have to kind of be more in a mood for, I feel like, and even get better. It feels a little bit more simplistic in terms of what it has to offer. I really like the steady riffs on that one and the chorus where he's shouting, "Am I gonna get better, better?" His vocals are ace. I like what's going on there. It just, by the end of the song, it feels like I've already heard the song a couple of times, even though it's just one listen. And then, like I said, even moments like Sorry, they completely grew on me. I changed my mind on it. There's not a bad song on this record, though. From the amazing opener, I was just a kid with those thundering riffs, and then Mason just coming on the mic during the chorus and showing us exactly what he's capable of. It just gave me chills the first time I ever listened to the track. All the way from that to the closing moment Afterlife that has a little bit of everything. It just sums up everything that we just heard. It's an amazing album. It's an album's album that definitely doesn't feel neutered and tame like so much of rock does in 2017. I would love to hear more stuff like this, because everything from moments like Soda that I can relate to because you feel down on yourself, to just the explosion of Live Like Animals that definitely takes that political angle. And then I'm Not Made by Design, which, holy shit, the guitar breakdown on that, you should have seen me air guitaring as I drove in my car. And obviously, you guys probably noticed, I'm not filming in my normal backdrop. I'm in Pittsburgh. Right now I'm with my girlfriend and her family. They had a family member pass away, and I am up here for the weekend. I hope you guys don't mind me coming to you on the go, but I had to talk about this record, maybe another review or two while I am here. Maybe Mute Math, maybe Death from Above 1979, we shall see. But please, please, I beg of you, check out this Nothing But Thieves album. Even if you only sample a couple of the songs, I know you're going to be hooked. If you're a rock fan in 2017 and you're not listening to this record and you're saying, oh, rock's not interesting anymore, then I call hypocrisy because you didn't check out this record. And old John, your old pal over here, told you about it. Maybe it's not for everyone, but me personally, I am feeling a strong 4.5 out of 5 with a very high replay factor. Oh my god, it's so hot in here. I'm sorry if it looks like I'm sweating. It's probably because I am. The light is hot and the room is hot to begin with. But don't forget to drop a like on this review. I hope you check out Nothing But Thieves if you haven't already. Comment your favorite tracks down in the comment section down below, and let me know, how does this stack up to the debut album for you? If you're able to support the channel on Patreon, it's that annotation over there in the corner. You can donate on a monthly basis. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. You can check out another video where I talk about Nothing But Thieves right here, or another recent review that I did on the channel by clicking right here. Other than that, my social media links are all in the description, and I'll see you very soon.